Let's bring it over to the blue couches. Got a full house today, so let's get to our first guest. Dr. Matthew Behan is with LECOM Behavioral Health. Doctor, it's nice to have you on the blue couches today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. We're talking mental illness awareness, which technically was last week, but this really is something that we need to be aware of and talking about all year round.
Well said. It's almost perfect and poetic that I'm here today, but the week was last week, because it's something that applies 365 days a year.
Yeah.
This idea that the main two messages would be that treatment works and help is available.
Yeah. Speaking of help is available, there are a lot of services both here in the city and throughout our rural communities as well.
Very true. You know, full disclosure, I'm born and raised in Erie. I've been here my entire life. I trained here. I've established my career here. I've got very deep roots. I joined LECOM recently because I saw a mirror of those same deep roots. LECOM has very deep roots, and we have a number of access points for behavioral health care in the city. A lot of times the limiting factor when someone's struggling with mental illness toward coming out on the other side of it is taking that first step and knowing how to engage with services.
How easy is it to do that?
You know, it's based on a conversation. It's based on the old school idea of a human talking to a human, which in today's day and age can almost seem antiquated.
Right. But
make a phone call. We have our LECOM Institute of Behavioral Health at 4740 Peach Street. I can provide a phone number for that. It's 814-454-3174. We have a website, lecomhealth.com, and we simply ask folks, we extend an invitation to please reach out if you have any inkling that you might benefit from some help. If you're struggling in any way related to your mental health, your relationships, the way that you're functioning at home and in your various roles as a family member or an employee, etc.
do you think that the stigma has lessened? I know that we as a society have made quite a concerted effort, I feel, to bust up that stigma of being ashamed to ask for help. There shouldn't be any issue with doing it, right?
Right, exactly. I've been doing this for 20 years, and a great deal of progress has been made with letting people know that human beings suffer from these type of conditions, which are treatable and for which there is help available, as I said. And the same thing applies to addiction and substance use. This isn't anything to be ashamed about. No more so than a medical condition, diabetes or epilepsy. Seek out help. We can assist you.
There's so much help available.
Right.
What do you want to say to folks who are seeing a loved one, a friend struggling, and they want to reach out to help? What's the best way to do that?
Well, what I've learned, and you know, I went to LECOM. I felt I benefited greatly from the education I received there, the clinical aspect and whatnot. The experience that I've garnered in the real world is that healthcare is a customer service industry, that there is a degree of warmth and friendliness that makes things work. And so I think sometimes we see a reluctance that maybe it's going to be, you know, a cold, sterile, clinical interaction. But if we're talking about an individual that's looking for help or a family member of an individual, please let that person know or know personally that this is a human-to-human, warm type of welcoming interaction. We strive to treat people like family.
What's the best first step?
I think the best first step is to make a phone call, is to utilize that telephone number that I mentioned, 814-454-3174. There's also lecomhealth.com. The best first step is to realize that the change you'd like to see in your life can begin today, and that there's no reason to delay. There's a great quote, and it says, "In the depth of winter, I finally came to learn that within me there lay an invincible summer." And I just think that's so poetic, that there is another level of wellness that you can experience, mind, body, and spirit, that boils down to a phone call.
Yeah, you don't have to do it alone.
Right.
Lots of support out there, as we said, both here in the city and throughout the rural communities as well. Doctor, it's a pleasure having you on the couches today. Thanks for joining us.